Hey guys, welcome to the NetworkX tutorial series. In the last video, we learned how to create a graph and added nodes and edges into it, and how to remove some edge or a node from the graph. And in today's video, we are going to learn about how to find out in the neighbors of a node and how to clean the entire graph. Means how to remove all the nodes and edges from the graph, and then we will learn how to set attributes to the graph or to a particular edge or a node. So let's proceed. And this is the code we learned in the last video. So let's just run this code again. And here you can see the list of nodes is this one, and the list of edges is this one. So there is a connection from node A to node 2. So if we want to find out the neighbor of node A, what we can do is we can type here print. So we call it the print function, and graph dot neighbors of vertex say A. To find the neighbors means the nodes which are connected with the A node. So let's run this code, and we have to save this first. And here you can see it is returning a dictionary object. Okay, so it is returning a dictionary key iterator object, means it is a dictionary object. So what we can do, we can just iter the dictionary object with let's say we don't want to print this, and let for I in neighbors dot a, let's just print all of the I we are getting from the dictionary. And if we run this code now, and here you can see the two vertex 2 is connected with the a. From the tuple that a and 2 is in a tuple, so means a is connected with 2. But with the help of this neighbors function, you can find out all the vertex that are connected with some particular vertex. So let's add it. So let's add one more vertex with a, and then we will run this loop again to see if this function is working correctly or not. So let's add it one more edge. Oh, we already have one edge from 1 to a. So if we just comment this function, which was for removing the edge from 1 to a, if we comment this function and run this code again, then you can see there are two, yes, there should be two vertex connected with a. One is from 1 to a and another is from a to 2. There are two neighbors from a. One is 1 and another vertex is 2. So this is how the neighbor function works, and it returns a dictionary object, and we on which we can iterate over. And that's all for the neighbors function. Now say if we want to clean the entire graph, means the all the nodes should be removed and all the edges should be removed from the graph, then we can call a function called let's say we want to print them all. So let's just comment this function, we don't need this. And going to clear them all, so there is a function called clear, which will clear the entire graph. And after clearing the graph, if we print the nodes and edges, and you will see the entire an empty list is printed here. So this clear function is called for clearing the entire graph. It will remove all the edges and vertices from the graph. Now let's add some attributes to the graph. But before that, this code is very complex to edit and modify this again and again. So let me just clear this code, and I will write some new one for the neighbors, for learning the attributes, how to set attributes to the graph. So let me clear this code. So what I've done till now is I imported the NetworkX module and created an instance of the graph class, and let's edit the attribute to the graph. Now to edit attribute to the graph, we can do one thing is while creating the instance of graph class, we can pass the attribute here in the function. So in the constructor. So let's say we have an attribute called day, and the day attribute containing the value of, let's say, Sunday. Then this attribute is going to be passed in the graph class. So to check the the attribute of the graph class, we can the print that attribute by calling the by accessing the g.graph member variable. And if we run this code now, here you will see the attribute is printed as as a dictionary. So this is how we can set an attribute to a graph. Now what if we want to update the attribute? Let's say we want this attribute to be Monday, then we can update the attribute by g dot graph, and the attribute name is day. So inside of the attribute name should be string, and we want to modify this as Monday. So if we run this code now, here you can see the attribute is modified to Monday. So this is how we can modify the graph attribute. Now let's edit some node attribute. Now this graph initially does not contain any node, so let's edit some nodes into the graph. So to edit node into the graph, we have a function called edit node. uh, in the last video we learned that if you are new here, you can check that out. To edit node, we have a function called edit node, and then we need to pass the node number. And if we want to edit attribute to the node, then let's say we want it an attribute called time to the node 1, then we can pass that here with its value, let's say 5 a.m., and the attribute time is added with the node 1. Now let's check if this is added with 1. Now to check, we can print this by g.nodes, and the attribute of node 1 will be printed. This is how we can access some particular node. And but if we run this code now, here you can see the time attribute is printed, and this is for the node 1. If there are multiple nodes, if say we have one more node in the graph, let's say it is 2, and it is having no attributes. Now if we check for its attribute, it will be empty dictionary. So the node 2 doesn't have any attribute. But if we want to edit some, we can do that by, let's say, day equal to 5th, and run the code. Here you can see the for node 2 we have the attribute called day, and which value is 5th. So this is how we can edit attributes to graph and nodes, and this will be saved as a dictionary. Now what if we want to edit multiple nodes with same attribute? So to edit multiple nodes, we have done that earlier in the last video. We can do one thing, we can create a list by calling list, and it will contain all the values from 3 to 5, and we will edit them by edit nodes from the list. And if you want to added the same attribute for all the nodes, then we can pass the attribute here. So let's say this is for, say, 3 p.m. The attribute is going to be set for all the nodes from the list. Now if you want to check the attribute of nodes 3 and run the code, here you can see the time 3 p.m. is set for node number 3, and for node 5 also it will be set as time equal to 3 p.m. Yes, it is saved as time equal to 3 p.m. for node 5. This is how you can set multiple this is how you can set same attribute for multiple number of nodes. Now let's update this node number one's attribute time to 5 a.m. Let's say we want to update this to 5 p.m. So to do that, we have the method called nodes, and we want to update the node 1 attribute name is time, and we want to update it to, let's say, 4 p.m. And if we print this here and run the code with the last output, yes, here you can see the the time attribute for node 1 is updated to 4 p.m. So this is how we can update or modify some attributes of a node, as we have done it for graph also. So what if we have multiple attributes for a node? So let's do that. We want to added one more attribute. Let's say we want to add one more attribute to node 1. So to do that, we can do something like this. Say we want day attribute with node 1, and the day is 4th, let's say May, and this g dot node will print all the attributes of node 1. And if we run the code, here you can see all the attributes of node 1 is being printed here. Now this is how we can set multiple attributes to a node or a graph. Also you can do the same thing. Now let's add some attribute to some particular age. Now to add age, we have a function called added ages, as we have done in the last video. Now we have vertex 1 and vertex 2. So let's add one age from vertex 1 to vertex 2. So to added age, we have a function called added age, and then the source of the age is vertex 1, and the destination of the vertex is vertex 2. Now we want the weight of the vertex to be its attribute. Now the weight is, let's say, 4.5, and we want to print. Let's comment this out, we don't need this now. And we want to print the age attribute of 1 vertex 1 to vertex 2. And if you run this code now, there is an error in line 18. So the error is we don't need these edges here. We can access the edges by accessing the graph and passing the argument as a matrix g1 to 2. And if we run this code now, here you can see the weight is being printed here. And to access particular the weight attribute only, we can pass the attribute and run the code, and here you can see the attribute is being printed here. So this is how we can add attributes to graph, nodes and edges and you can try the edit edges from also. By that you can edit the same attribute from multiple edges, and you can also modify that also. So try that in your home as an exercise. So that's all for today. In the next video we will see how to visualize the graph using matplotlib library. So thanks for watching. Click like if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe the channel for more updates.